All right, you ready? What's up, everyone? NASCAR is back here at DFS Army, and we are at Watkins Glen at the Go Bowling at the Glen Road Course. And this is a really special Fast 40 because we've got the dual goats to break it down. We got Brady here. We've got Taco here. So this is going to be the ultimate breakdown to smash DraftKings and FanDuel NASCAR this week. Guys, tell me about Watkins Glen. What's the deal?
Well, Kev, or Geek, sorry.
Don't break the third wall.
I can't. I got to stay in character here. Yeah. I got to. Watkins Glen road course. The 5th of 6 road courses on the schedule this year. Big difference here. Watkins Glen is by far the fastest road course we go to. Very high speed. You'll hear some people talk about it as the oval of road courses because it's very fast. Technical in sections, but equipment definitely matters. And the big thing, especially when you're attacking this from a DFS perspective, this is probably the most familiar road courses to the field versus some of the other ones we've been to, save for Sonoma. Sonoma and Watkins Glen have been on the schedule for years and years and years. For decades, it was 2 road courses a year, Sonoma and Watkins Glen. So when you look at guys like Shane Van Gisbergen, who comes in and immediately has an advantage over the field, he won't have that significant of an advantage because this is the track that everybody else in the field has run countless times.
Yeah. Now, let me give a little bit of DFS strategy for road courses for everybody who's watching who hasn't done one of these so far, because this is critical. The road course, 2.5 mile per lap. We're looking at what, 90 laps on this one?
Mm-hmm.
Total? How many laps?
Yeah, 90 laps. It's like 20 laps and 20 laps and 50 for the final stage.
Yeah. So the math, let's understand the math of this, and then we'll take a look at what happened to Connor Zilich in a minute. But the math of this, so we always talk about dominator points when we're doing tracks. And last week, I think we're coming off of a short track. We had 350 dominator points to go around, right? So it was all about the domination. But on road courses, there's only 90 laps. So to me, this gives a lot more of like a Daytona vibe, of a super speedway vibe, where there's not that many dominator points to go around. If you're talking about only 90 laps for this whole thing, that means there's barely any, like maybe, what is that, Taco? Like 30 dominator points, 40 for the whole thing?
Yeah, it's not a whole lot. I think I have the actual number like sitting here. Let's see. Yeah, it's 67.5 if there's a fast lap for every single lap, which there isn't.
Yeah, Jeremy Collier understands those dominator points better than anybody. So he knows. So there's not that many dominator points to go around in this one, which means that these tracks generally, and we'll take a look at the historical tab here of what's won, but just the general baseline is there's not that many dominator points to go around. So finishing position / cars passed are going to be the two things that lead to win. So let's take a look at some of these historicals. Brady, you got that up on screen?
This is just last year, is it? Oh, here, let me.
We got quite a few. Yeah, if you sort by the sort here is by race, so you can get them year by year. So the way I like to sort this one, go to the date tab on races and just sort top to bottom, and that way you can go race by race and understand kind of like what has won here. So take a look right here. Look, the winning score, Chris Buescher, started 24th, finished first. Host of our second highest score, like started 29th. So it's place differential. And then not that many laps led. And Chastain, who was the lap leader, started and finished and got all the primary laps led, still barely scored 60. So you see here that being on the pole, definitely just looking at the last race was not super advantageous. It was okay for SVG and Chastain, but they barely scored enough points to get us there. Let's see the next race. Let's kind of like take a look at what's been winning this. All right, there we go. So once again, we got Willie B, who's generally good here, right? The scores the most points, starts second, leads the whole race. This guy was the leader the whole time. And then everybody else pretty much is just a play stiff situation. So one lap leader in that one, and you have Truex, Blaney, and Gilly, all play stiff guys. And I don't know how Christopher Bell got there from 7th to 3rd, but somehow that was enough for a 47. So there, and Stenhouse kind of almost got there with his play stiff as well. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, let's see if the pattern continues here. So Christopher Bell starts 38th, big play stiff guy. There's your pole sitter, gets most of the domination. Chase Elliott doesn't score that great, but still hangs around and ends up in the nut lineup. You know, Joey Logano 20th to 3rd, so another play stiff. Eric Jones 31st to 10th. I mean, just looking at it, Cole Custer, what the fuck, right? And then AJ Allmendinger in the nuts lineup there, and I'm seeing the same pattern, mostly play stiff with a couple of kind of guys starting up front, as long as they finish like top 2 or 3.
Yeah, I had the front row in that race too, first and second.
Yeah, first, and that's unusual, but I guess because Larson, he barely gets there though. Look, Larson wins it.
Well, yeah, I guess Elliott isn't optimal on DraftKings there, even though he scored the 3rd most points. He's really expensive back then. Like really,
he was
really
probably probably like 11,000 that year, and just
is he priced over Larson for this one? I guess we went by 2022, so maybe.
Yeah,
right?
Back in the day, he would have been for sure.
Yeah, so even there,
fast laps,
and he was the dominator. Like he was the prime dominator of that race and did not make the nuts. So I don't know, guys. I'm getting Daytona vibes here without the carnage.
They do call this the super speedway of road courses.
There we go.
Yesterday, God, carnage wise, there was a 16-car wreck in the bottleneck.
Jump over to the DK average per start tab. All right, and let's blow it up so we can see it a little bit better here. But let's see if this one holds true as well. So the side, I actually like the that next one right there. The averages by 4 starting position. Oh, good. I love the sizing of this. This is great. So
that's the UNC sizing.
Yeah. So it looks like starting 1st through 4th has actually been pretty advantageous here. But then it's interesting, like the fantasy point scoring does not really change that much. You know, 17th through 20th, 20. Taco, what's going on here?
Well, usually cars qualify about where they should here. So the guy starting up front should be the best of the best of the best cars. But we've seen a variety of strategies work at this track. Seen guys from the middle, even from the rear, had some deep place differential come through. So yeah, it's kind of just all over the place. There's not really one exact trend starting position wise, and you kind of see it when we look at the slate. We got some deep play stiff guys like Larson in particular, who are gonna stand out here. But it's all about finishing position at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think another thing to point out here too is if you're searching for a 50 plus, it's usually half the time it's going to come from the top 4. So you generally need somebody in that top 4 is going to lead like the first whole stage, and then probably a lot of the second stage as well. So it's very much in the vein of a super speedway where you've got to get somebody in the top 10, and in this case, probably even closer to the top 5, and then pair with, you know, a couple more top guys, and then just max play stiff. There's just not enough dominator points for a guy to start 6th, finish 3rd, and be valuable.
As I'm thinking about the domination station and how to build, the thing that I'm vibing with right now is like what you just said. There's just not the math says that not that many people starting in the top 10 can score that well. You know, there can only be one that finishes in first, right? There can only be 1 or 2 second and third place guys. So it really limits how many people from the starting group can just mathematically wind up in the nuts lineup for this thing. I think the 2 obvious candidates as we look at this group are going to be SVG and probably Byron starting 10th. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get into it here shortly, but the other thing we need to consider is, if I take off UNC mode here, how much higher priced SVG is versus the field. Like he's nearly a full, I guess he is a full 2,500 salary higher. So even if, I mean, Taco's got him, starting second, finishing first, dominating over half the race, he still only scores 64.
Basically, if he absolutely smashes this race and makes it his bitch,
he barely 5Xs.
Yeah, he's still barely squeaking into like really good score territory. So, all right, well, he probably will do those things, but there's no room for error here, none whatsoever on SVG at that price. Like if he even hiccups, if he even does anything.
And the very frustrating thing about road courses is being the fastest. I mean, SVG has kind of neutralized this a bit, but historically, being the fastest car didn't necessarily mean you were the dominant car. Just how they short pit, they'll pit before a caution in order to hop everyone. They'll purposely fall back in the field at a certain point in the race just because they know everybody in front of them is going to pit, and they'll be at the front towards the end. So SVG could be the fastest car, but short pit or get off strategy and be running the first of his group in that strategy. But in reality, they're running 7th all day and not getting any dominator points. So there's a lot of concern for sure.
So plenty of reason to at least consider just not playing SVG, even though his win odds are so intensely better than everybody else that it's not.
Are the opening odds too. I think it's implied it's like 42% now that he wins this race.
Minus 165 was the original, or that's now? Because those are crazy odds. I've never seen that.
Yeah. We were talking before we came on the air. I suspect because SVG wasn't all that impressive in practice or qualifying, and he shortened up a ton. I suspect the fact that Connor Zilich withdrew probably pushed SVG's odds down a lot. But I didn't see, and Taco, tell me if I'm wrong, I didn't see anything in practice or qualifying that would make me more confident in SVG than I was pre-qualifying.
Yeah, he's getting priced like he was first in every split and just absolutely shit on everyone in practice. What would his odds be? Like minus 200 if he had Byron's practice times? Like that'd be insane here. What's crazy is I bet Trackhouse is a team to win when it opened up at minus 120 to start the week. And now Zilich is out, who is the second favorite to win the race. And they're still, minus 160 as a team or something.
Wouldn't it be better to take the team minus 160 than SVG at minus 165? Like, who else is winning from Trackhouse?
It's like different odds on Bovada there where they have it, but it's something ridiculous. Now, I think the books are saying we've had enough money put on SVG. Like, stop betting SVG. Chill. Just chill.
Yeah. And I think a lot of those Zilich tickets, pre-weekend tickets, would void, and chances are that money ends up on SVG one way or the other too. So they probably did get crushed with SVG tickets.
You want to show what happened to Connor Zilich?
Yeah.
This is like, you know what? Let me metaphor this as you want to bring that video up, but this is like when you're winning a NASCAR tournament, right? You're about to take it down. It ends. You've won. You're like, holy shit, 100K. And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, wait a minute, wait for the adjustment. Oh no, they mispriced it in something. The projection, they forgot a lead lap for someone else. I just went from first to 48th place. Oh no.
Luckily, he is okay. It looks like he got knocked out pretty bad, but they said they did CT scans and he was fine. He has a broken collarbone, though, so he will be out for foreseeable next month, probably. I don't know.
What a shame.
About a month or two.
Yeah, it's brutal. And they withdrew that car altogether, so no replacement driver or anything. The 87 just won't run.
Let me see one more time. I got to see the fall one more time, Brady. Just give it to me once more. Like, oh yeah, we won. Let's go, motherfucker.
The foreshadowing.
Fuck it.
Window net slipping.
Suck it, Ross Chastain. Oh no. Oops.
That's brutal.
He spilled his Red Bull. That's the worst part of all of it.
Oh, suck it, Ross Chastain. Oh, done.
I will say, his family. There was a tweet this morning. Jim Zilich, Connor Zilich's father. Apparently, there's a very famous story about Connor Zilich shitting his pants during a race and having to go to victory lane. And Jim Zilich commented this morning that now that is the second most embarrassing thing that Connor Zilich has ever been through after a win. So there is a bright side.
why would his father bring up that story? It wasn't bad enough. Like, oh, let me just bring up your other worst moment in your. What's wrong with parents? What's wrong?
There's a hit job from SVG for taking him out early in the race.
And say, oh, this is actually less bad than that. I would rather fall and break my collarbone than shit myself during the race. So I'm like on team. The first thing was worse.
No, I do the whole Paul Pierce treatment. Have my team carry me out.
Oh my goodness. Unreal. Well, all right, let's get into this track. But before we do, guys, reminder, NFL is right around the corner. We are crushing preseason football. Fucking Justin Fields, touchdown.
Let's go.
Sorry. We're crushing it. NFL right around the corner. And we are not stopping here. You know, I was thinking about it today, guys, how much DFS action? Like I've had nonstop DFS this weekend, MMA, 3 NASCAR races, MLB's going strong. Like there's no, it's nonstop even now in the heart of August. Well, it's about to get crazier. September right around the corner, guys. And this is the time for the big DFS Army discount. You see scrolling below, you can get $50 off the monthly NFL. But if you're watching this, you need VIP because NASCAR, MMA, all those extra sports, the niche sports, that's really what we do best here at DFS Army with the research stations, the tool, the domination station, absolutely smashing. So if you want to check out DFS Army VIP, promo code NFL 2025 gets you half price. That's right. It's normally $89 a month. You get it for $45. What? $45? What are you kidding me? Brady, that's like 2 trips to Starbucks.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Well, 1.5.
I mean, in Canada, that's like, you know, small house. But here in the US, we're talking couple trips. It's just a couple trips to the Starbucks.
In Canada, that's a bag of milk.
Yeah, it's a bag of milk.
Money over there.
This is crazy. This is slanderous.
Canadian girlfriend is slamming
in the head. The housing, that was completely wrong. The housing in Canada is like massively expensive.
Everything's expensive.
Yeah, everything's crazy expensive up there, man. But
not DFS Army.
Not DFS Army. It's $500 Canadian dollars a month for VIP, or you can get it in US based for $45 with promo code NFL 2025. Get signed up now. Don't wait. This promo is going to be gone. I know you guys are going to be like, I'm going to wait until September 4th and the first NFL. It's going to be gone. You got to do it now. Get in there now. We are starting back test season at DFS Army as well. Starting this week, we're going to be back testing the 2024 NFL season. So every night, streams with the geek, hanging out, back testing all of the 2024 season, getting good on the optimizer, learning how to set the settings up to take down tournaments. You don't want to miss it. The prep time is now. Promo code NFL 2025. Get in here. All right. Let's rock, guys.
Let's do it.
And I'm going to throw a lot of this over to you guys, but I want to focus in on who's good at road courses as we go through this breakdown, right? We know we need to get the play stiff upside. And so the question is, which of these drivers are particularly good at road courses? And actually, before we get to it, I will ask you both, was there anything in practice outside of like that was predictive here that put you on a driver that you may not have been on?
I'd say watch out for, Group A was faster than Group B, and Group B had the faster cars overall. Also, Michael McDowell and Justin Haley drafted together the entire way to put up the 2 fastest laps. It was pretty interesting. It didn't really translate to qualifying. They qualified kind of about where they should.
Is drafting a thing? You can get a bit of a toe down the long straights, but a lot of that too might have been more Haley setting his marks using Michael McDowell. Mm-hmm. So it's not really anything. The thing that stuck out to me is, especially, and this is a nice tip for anybody that has that uses Taco's research station. I always take the first 3 or 4 laps on a road course and just get rid of them. Guys are finding their braking points. They're shaking down the car. Useful to kind of get rid of those first 4 laps. Wow. And it'll update everything automatically. And then you can sort by best 5-lap average. The thing that stood out to me here is when you do that, William Byron really jumps off the page by like a factor of 0.3 over the field. So definitely a lot of speed. And then even more so if you take off kind of the end of the run significantly faster than the field towards that end of the run, almost a half second faster than Justin Haley, who was in that first group, not super relevant. And then you go to guys like Cindric and Byron. But William Byron was the one that stuck out to me. And the other thing that stuck out to me is how kind of pedestrian Shane Van Gisbergen times were. Now, is SVG pushing in practice? Is he trying? Is he just kind of getting a feel for the track? Is he trying to post fast laps? Probably not. So this probably isn't entirely indicative. I wouldn't say he's an 8th or a 5th place car by any means. But those are the two things that stuck out to me, is how good Byron was and how kind of just average SVG looked.
Any of the mid drivers or the low end drivers just look weirdly good. Outside of, like, I see Justin Haley's name up top over there, but I'm not really seeing a lot of other kind of like what I call turd drivers floating to the top here.
Yeah, I think Justin Haley will be kind of the talk of the town. His practice times were really good. I think he'll go a little over-owned because of it. Mm-hmm. Like Taco said, he was playing games with Michael McDowell, who's an elite road course driver. Without that rabbit to chase, I doubt he will be that fast. And you can kind of see it towards the end of Haley's run. Started to kind of fall out of favor there a little bit. But he's definitely is fast, definitely has some ability. And then probably the surprise of the weekend was Ryan Blaney getting the pole somehow. Not a guy I had circled as a pole contender. Not a guy that has ever been super fast on road courses at all. So it kind of makes it complicated to find that dominator right off the start.
Yeah, it should be a fun race because with SVG, and let's go over to the player pool here, but like with SVG starting second being so much more expensive than everybody else, it really does make for an interesting strategic situation here. Not only is SVG like laps above everybody else in salary, but DraftKings then like kind of dropped the baseline salary for every other driver to the point where this is like this salary structure. Just look at it. It's not what I normally see here. We usually get, 5 or 6 drivers, 10K or above. And we don't have that. We just have Larson right at 10K. Normally he'd be probably at like 11K starting at 27. And then you have SVG all the way up there. And then no one else over 10.
Yeah, I think Zilich was 10, wasn't he?
No, 9,200. So Zilich was the bargain. Okay, yeah. I was all about Zilich. I was like, yeah, 9,200. Now
92 being the 5th most expensive is really cheap. Usually that's like 10K.
It's unusual, right, Taco? Am I? The math just seems different for this track because, like, I feel like if you don't use
lap count, so the field's more just kind of squished even, but then SVG throws everything off. Almost makes it feel like an Xfinity race.
Yeah, where you either have to make a decision on like on the Corey Haim, super stud, or not. Really interesting. All right, so guys, let's get right into it, and we'll start at the top. Let's get your takes on these players. I'll pull my my Uggo mug off of the screen here. Let's go full screen, Brady, and we'll go top down. We'll start with SVG. Obviously, the win odds 2.2 to 1. He's a favored. That's not even right. I think he was like
opening odds. Yeah, I just updated them on the RS not too long ago.
Yeah, I pulled up the. Here we go.
You got the old one there, but
there we go.
Yeah, there it is. The latest win odds. The highest win odds you're ever going to see for any player ever is happening right now with SVG. So 56% owned, guys. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I think I put in my notes. For me, it's just like if I'm going to play this slate, I just got to be underweight on SVG. There's just so many things that can go wrong. And obviously, he's the rightful favorite. Obviously, he's probably the fastest car. You look at the road course history, three road courses in a row, and all 3 not super competitive. He wasn't really challenged at all on any of those. The 3 things giving me hope is he is so high salary, like 2,500. He has to do a lot. Like we said earlier, he finishes first and dominates most of this race. He's still only 5Xs. So if he blunders at all at any point, he very easily falls out of the optimal. Like I said, his practice times were pedestrian. That's probably not super indicative because after practice, he said he liked his car. So he's probably going to be okay. And with Ryan Blaney, who's not a road course ace by any means, starting beside him, good chance SVG gets the lead at the start or within the first couple laps. But at that price and in this situation, I think I go elsewhere. I find myself underweight on SVG. The concern is, and again, these are in my notes, SVG just doesn't lose pace at the same rate as everybody else. Like everybody will be a half second or a second slower late in a run, and SVG just doesn't lose time like that. So he gains a ton of fast laps, especially on long runs, which can kill you. So even if he is running third or fourth because of strategy, he's still gaining fast laps. So definitely understand why he's going to be so popular. He'll probably win the race, but I just can't bring myself to have any fun playing SVG in this situation.
I mean, it's definitely more fun. The lineups look so much more exciting without him in there in that 12K salary. 56% ownership projection. Guys, I expect that in any sort of contest that costs more than, $3 or $4, that number will go up to 65, 70%. So it's going to be a very chalky, as Taco, I believe you referred to him as super chalk.
Super chalk. The thing with SVG is, you mentioned the long runs. Our caution prop this week is only 5.5. That's about as low as you can get. Generally low carnage, but when there is a flag thrown here, usually it's for a pile up. But yeah, that is kind of a concern. Like his props out there, I think DK Pick 6 has him at 51.5 lead laps and 28 fast laps. It's something real like pie in the sky. Like I'd probably go under that. But the thing with SVG this week, I think the case for him is he's very affordable. There are a lot of 5K plays, like a lot. There's a whole pool of 5K plays that you can play this week. So he's easily affordable. It's just he's also lame and chalky. Like everyone's gonna play. Everyone is gonna play him. It's just basically one of those slates.
I'll say it like this. Let's say you lock button. Let me give a DFS example of SVG. Let's say you lock button SVG, right? You hit a lock button. He's in every lineup that you make, right? Every single one. He's in all of them. And you're locked in, right? You're like, SVG, me and him are doing it today. Now you could watch SVG being in the lead and leading lap and fast lap and lead lap and fast lap, and he's ticking off those boxes. And you're watching that happen, and your total winning is going down. It's not even going to help you. It will do nothing. It will do little to nothing for your winnings. I've been in this situation. When you load up on the chalk and the chalk starts smashing, it doesn't matter. You better have hit the other spots, right? And if you're not, it won't matter at all. So, like, going 100% SVG and you're right, you still could lose all your money in this thing because everybody else is on it when somebody's more than 50% owned. You better be right about, like, when you pick a Nemechek or Jones and that guy's smashing, or some low-owned play that's smashing for you, because it's not gonna be SVG that's helping you to the win no matter what. So with that being said, anything over 50% owned, guys, that is a big decision point that everybody needs to make for themselves for this track. But Brady, you're saying so chalky, not really fun. And Taco, you're saying kind of the same, no?
I mean, you kind of have to almost bend the knee at this point. I guess like some more cases for SVG would be practice time's kind of pedestrian. Think about it from his perspective. Trackhouse is one of the best sim programs out there. They have a really good model for this track. If every team is watching your SMT data extremely closely, we say this all the time with SVG in practice, are there some cards being held to the chest?
Yeah, that's very possible.
Possibly.
Yeah. You don't want to show off your breaking points or anything that early.
He finished runner-up here last year in colleague equipment. That's the thing. He didn't win every race last year. He was in colleague equipment. You can see with him switching to Trackhouse and him being in the top-tier equipment. I mean, this is kind of what we get.
Yeah. I'll say Robin articulated this way better than I tried to earlier. But yeah, SVG's advantage on all of these tracks is in technical sections. And at Watkins Glen, there's the bus stop and the carousel. That's where SVG is going to make his time. But there isn't as many technical sections on Watkins Glen. So the field does shrink a little. He won't have the outright advantage. But I still suspect, Taco, it's a really good point made. He probably didn't want to show off his telemetry in practice. Why would he? He's probably a lot faster than he showed in practice. And it's just that his tire conservation, man, those supercar guys are just so good at it. And even if, Byron gets out to a 4-second lead, when SVG's running 0.4 faster than the field, it doesn't matter. He'll get it back in 10 laps. So
Brady, it's frustrating. That comment gave me a little mental note to grab the Star Wars Admiral Akbar. It's a trap, like that little meme. And I need that in there. It's a trap. Little mini video for that.
One more point on SVG too. We're getting down. What is there? 3 races left before the playoffs. All of these drivers, not Ryan Preece, but Kyle Busch down. All of them need to do something stupid if they want to make the playoffs. So
a lot of stupid people on that.
If to your point, Geek, earlier, SVG leads all day, starts second, gets to first, 1 million fast laps, 1 million laps led, and then Carson Hocevar dive bomb him into 1 with 1 lap to go, and SVG finishes 23rd. It was all for nothing. So that can happen at this track too.
We also, with Dingo right on the precipice, maybe we can get a Dinger. I'm just looking at Keselowski and Dinger. I'm looking at some of the names here that actually have a chance of really doing something here. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Do they need to win to get in, or just like a top 5?
Yeah, they all need to win to get in.
Even Preece, you can't really make up 23 points at this point. And there'll probably be another winner at Daytona. So this line's going to get pushed down again anyway. So I would say Chris Buescher down. All these guys need to win.
Yep.
They're not winning.
And then don't forget about Dylan at Richmond.
Yeah, they got that GR setup they stole. So he'll be fast. But yeah, so that's the other frustrating part about a track like Watkins Glen. Last year or a couple years ago, the last stage runs green and there's no chaos. But if a caution comes out with 7 laps to go, then there's going to be 7 more cautions and everybody's going to wreck each other. So it can be frustrating, and that it's another risk of playing a guy like SVG who needs to win to be optimal.
Yeah. So a lot of arguments for or against SVG. Listen, again, he's 55% owned. You guys know what to do. You want to fade that. I support it. You want to kind of play the field. I support that too. I think there's a lot of ways to play it, but definitely the one thing I would not do is go over that 50% field weight on him in any circumstance. I don't think there's any benefit to it. It just doesn't really help you. So don't do that.
If that's what you want to do, you're better off just playing them at like -165, like sports betting, and because your return is going to probably be similar, because you're not going to make any money overplaying SVG.
Yeah. You're sorry. You might as well just bet it at that point. All right. So let's talk about some of these next options. These are studs. It seems to me like Larson is the best of them in the sense that he's starting 27th.
Yeah, obvious PD potential here. Won this race in the last race in the old gen and the first race in the new gen. Last couple runs have been pedestrian, and Larson has been like uncharacteristically bad on road courses this year. But still, starting 27th, he's the obvious pivot off SVG, and with how difficult it is to fit SVG and Kyle Larson into lineups together, Larson probably goes a little lower owned than he ought to in this situation. So yeah, I like Larson a lot in this spot.
You've got to consider that Hendrick has won 5 of the last 6 races here, only losing out last year with Buescher and SVG up top. Larson's starting way back. I think a lot of people are going to be off him after he was some major chalk last week and just completely failed to perform. And we saw Byron being fast. Byron is really the play that sticks out in this range, like the sore thumb with Zilich out. This is going to be a way more interesting slate with Zilich in it. Now we got to kind of just look elsewhere. It's hard to play Larson and SVG together, but Byron makes so much sense. He had the fastest car by a mile.
My easiest build, before the show, kind of like just quick build, had SVG and Byron combined. That was like it comfortably fit together, salary wise. In my sort of like, what's the chalkiest build I can come up with build that I did before the show.
Yeah. I think And what we can talk about Bell too, who's been probably the best besides, or one of the best besides SVG on road courses this year. He kind of just grades out as the ugly middle child, but certainly some upside. He's finished top 5 at all but Chicago on road courses this year, and has pretty consistently run well inside the top 10 at Watkins Glen. Just kind of in a lull right now. It feels like Bell is consistently where at the start of the year he was a top 5 car every week. He kind of just grades out to like a 4th to 8th car right now. Whether that's by design or not, saving for the playoffs, I don't know. But if you want to get pivoty and off the beaten path, you can build around Bell too, because there's certainly some upside.
Yeah, Bell's history, this year, Coda first place. It looks like second place Mexico. So he's had some good road course action so far this year. And then of course, you guys already mentioned Willie B. I guess Byron really fast in practice as well. So he kind of seemed like Brady, the fast car, the non SVG car that looks pretty good.
Yeah, and Byron has consistently in the next gen been very, very good at Watkins Glen. Hasn't necessarily gotten the finishes he deserved, but he was fast at times last year before finding trouble. Kind of dominated this race in 2023, was fast in 22 as well, but Larson just had him covered. And then he comes to practice, and like I said, these are, if you do detect it, these are unusually fast lap times. Like 3/10 is significantly faster on a track like this. So wherever that comes from and whether the field can catch up, like Taco said, SMT data is very, very readily available. So maybe some teams will follow that and catch up. But this is an outlier type lap. You don't often see.
Everyone is from like second on down to like 10th. Everyone's within like a 10th of each other. And then there's Byron in his own zip code.
Yeah, I mean, it has to mean something. It's got to mean something. And I think it reflects in the odds. Look at the odds, guys. The difference between Byron, 8-1, right? And then Bell, who seems like the same play, is 23-1. Like, it is a massive difference going from Byron to pretty much everybody else in the field. So a very, very obvious second best play on the slate is probably going to be Byron. It looks like his ownership at 27%. Not that high.
Yeah, it'll be held back because we've got some of your probably like the 2 best road course racers pre-SVG in Elliott and Reddick starting outside the top 20. That'll get a lot of ownership.
Well, hopefully. So let's jump down to this next crew here. You got Chase Elliott starting 20th. Lots of play stiff upside. You're saying looks like he's had a pretty good run at road courses so far this year. Sonoma 3rd place, Mexico 3rd place, Coda 4th place. Elliott, let's go. That's what's up.
Yeah, I'll probably be a little underweight on Elliott for no other reason than I want to get so much Larson, Bell, and Byron in. But Watkins Glen is an okay road course for Chase Elliott. Obviously, he got his first win here and everything in the old gen, but in the new gen, the last couple of years, he's been kind of average. His practice times were okay, but not on the same wavelength as Byron and Larson, and even Bowman had pretty good pace. I think he'll be a little over-owned. You see Chase Elliott starting 20th at a road course. It's very attractive, but it's just kind of play that falls out in the middle for me. It's just I don't find myself finding room for him in a lot of lineups. But he starts 20th and easily could get to the top 5 as he's done at most road courses this year. He's well into the optimal, so certainly a good play.
I think Taco's a little higher on Chase.
Just for his ability to finish races this season, he's the king of avoiding DNFs. I think he's finished lead lap. I think he's only finished a lap down once this whole season. He's finished top 20 every single race. So, like for cash game purposes, I guess Elliott has a lot of value here. He's like the safer version of Reddick, who's been kind of on a colder streak. I mean, 60-1 Reddick at a road course is so weird. He's 10-1 to top 5. Which is kind of bananas. Tyler Reddick, 10-1 to top 5. What?
Yeah, that's crazy considering he was the SVG of the series before SVG came to town. He was so much better than the field on road courses, and now you're getting him at 60-1. Is crazy. But yeah, Chase Elliott just kind of grades out as an okay play.
Dixon Sider, who is one of our loyal watchers here, always looking for a top 10 bet. Tyler Reddick, 10-1.
Yeah,
guy's pretty good at road courses.
Chris Buescher as well. I think got the priced up based on his reputation as a very solid road course driver, and obviously won and beat SVG here last year. I will say, if you go back and look at what he did last year, he wasn't necessarily that dominant by any means. I can't even find him right now. Where's Chris Buescher?
Yeah, there he is, right there. Number 2.
Oh yeah.
He just came from the rear. He charged. Like, he had a good race, but he mostly just hung out and just slid in at the very end. Like, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. But you look, only 5 fast laps over the course of the day. When he was running, like at the start of the race, he started 18th, really couldn't push forward. Started this stint 9th, couldn't really push forward, and then had a good stint where he started 7th and a couple restarts in a row and managed to get himself up into first. So a lot of circumstance around his win last year that I don't necessarily think is the most likely scenario this year. So
he short pitted, and it was just perfect strategy to get him with the freshest tires at the end. He kind of walked forward to the front for free.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able to replicate how good he was on road courses last year. He's just been okay this year. 16th, 18th, 10th in Mexico, 7th at Coda. Just been okay, and none of these performances would be good enough here. So he needs a season best run on a road course to hit optimal here. So I think he goes a little overplayed.
It's interesting. So many of these guys, you really can't afford a lineup with like SVG, and like a Byron or like another stud, and then any of these guys. So it's interesting how high owned they are. I think that this crew of Elliott, Buescher, Reddick, this trio, they're going to be showing up a lot in the non-SVG lineups that are being built. When you build with Shane, you really need to go down lower in salary to make it work. So did we kind of go over Tyler Reddick as well? These three are all kind of the same, but it's interesting to me. Again, yeah, we talk about Tyler Reddick, the 10-1 odds. So next we've got Ty Gibbs, 41-1. So actually weirdly better odds than Reddick. He's starting 14th. Does he have any chops here in road courses?
For sure. First of all, this is probably the most offensive thing anybody's ever said to me. You're about to get. I've been privileged to
on podcast.
I'll ban.
Brady was horrified to learn that he has a Canadian accent at all.
I didn't even know I talked weird. I thought I sounded like you guys. But Ty Gibbs, yeah, he's very good on road courses and was, up with Tyler Reddick a couple years ago. One of the guys you would circle every week. You came to road courses, and Watkins Glen is probably the best of his road courses. You look at his finishes this year, you take out Coda, top 10 in just about every one. He probably should have won this race in 23, the year that Byron won. I think he was better than Byron. He kind of just got out-experienced in that race. Has a lot of pace here. I just think he's got a lot of upside here. And when you surround him with, big-time PD guys, I think you could get some leverage on Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, this next trio feels like have the balls to play them, and you might win this whole thing. Trio, I don't know why, but I'm just getting this vibe about this trio. So let's put them all in a basket together. You got Chase Briscoe, Mikey McDowell, and Ross Chastain. They're third, fourth, and sixth. So these are your sort of in dominator position guys. The win odds are definitely better than the people who are starting further back. You said earlier in this breakdown, Brady, that Michael McDowell, known as kind of like a road course ace. Fine. I don't know. Like, what about Chastain, Briscoe? Let's talk about this trio and how relevant they are. I think these are like your GPP guys. Like, one of them, all of a sudden you see them leading and you're like, how is this happening right now? Why didn't I play Chase Briscoe?
It's a little awkward because Ross Chastain dominated this entire race last year from the pole, or he's just able to sit with the best trackhouse equipment. He's not going to have the best trackhouse equipment this year. And then, Michael McDowell sticks out because he came into this race as the co-second favorite with Connor Zilich. He's been the only person all year to be able to compete with SVG, at least run with him, at least before getting taken out. Now, that was back at Chicago. Remember, he started front row alongside SVG and actually managed to box him out of leading the first half of that race before he succumbed to his issues there. But only concern with McDowell on this slate is he took a really, really, really hard hit yesterday, and he's an old man. Only concern I really have with him.
Yeah, this whole range for me, Briscoe, McDowell, Chastain, I can almost separate Briscoe and Chastain because I think for those guys, they're locked into the playoffs. If they have a chance to win, they'll go for it. But I think for them, it's more, can we steal a stage point? Can we get a playoff point here somewhere? Can we just have a decent run? For McDowell, it's we got to win. This is really, save for Daytona in a couple weeks, this is McDowell's last chance to make the playoffs, realistically. So I would expect some outlandish strategy if he can't do it on speed here. Real boomer bust type play where it's, we're either going to win this race or finish pretty much last. So I would almost call Chase Briscoe and Ross Chastain quote unquote safe plays, as safe as you could be when you start third and fourth. I would be surprised to see those guys drop out of the top 10. But Michael McDowell, I think, has more upside, but I don't think Michael McDowell is going to finish third. I think he's going to run first, or he's going to run 21st.
That sounds like GPP winning upside to me if it works out a certain way. 18% owned. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. These are scary plays. They're not going to project as well as the play stiff guys. That's why I call them GPP plays. We're not going to get the play stiff points here. So they need to either finish second, third, have massive win. Remember, if you're starting third, let's just to math this out, Briscoe starting third, he needs to lead laps or finish first. If he just finishes third, he's probably looking at a 37. That's not going to get it done. Something has to happen for him to score enough points.
Yeah, he needs to get the lead on strategy or something like that. I would be surprised to see him get the lead early in the first stage. So
yeah, he doesn't really get fast laps either.
No, he's notoriously slow mid-run. He launches okay, and his late run pace is usually pretty good. But in the middle of the run, Chase Briscoe drops like a rock. I don't know what it is, but we've seen it a couple times this year.
All right, so this next little group here, I'm just going to go. We've got coming up. You're moving around too quick for me. Dinger and Dinger. There we go. Dinger and Hamlin, right? And you already met high owned. So now we get to a couple of plays that the field is excited about. Dingo starting 18th. Hamlin, the cheapest you've seen him. This side of a super speedway at 8K. The win odds are terrible for Hamlin. 100 to 1. What is it? Do they not know it's Denny?
I think it's JGR across the board. Just on the practice sheets, they're all really trash outside of Gibbs. You can see when you remove those beginning laps, their numbers all kind of increase across the board. They're not actually that bad. It's just, Denny Hamlin is a veteran. This is one of his better road course tracks. It's just, at this point, what really do you expect from him? Allmendinger, we know exactly what's going to happen. He's either going to be in the top 5 contesting or 38th.
Yeah, I love Allmendinger in this spot. Ignore the practice speeds. It really doesn't matter. But these colleague cars have just been so notoriously unreliable. You can see it in his recent road course finishes. It's 6th, 13th, or it's 30th. It's 6th, or it's dead last. It's top 6, or it's dead last. If they give AJ a car capable of running 90 laps, he'll finish in the top 5 or 6. Otherwise, he'll blow up, or the windshield will fly off the car or something. So that's the scary play. It's a pure GPP play, but one I like a lot because I think AJ's in the same spot, right? This is basically his last chance to get in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. You give AJ Allmendinger finishes in 5th place. He's going to score in the range of 47 points, and he will be in the nuts lineup.
50 plus, yeah. All he needs to do is top 7, really.
Yeah,
top 8.
He will be in the nuts. He will be in the nuts if he gets in that top. Like you're adding in some fast laps or some lead lap, but yeah, he's going to get there. If he finishes in like anywhere near that top 5, he's probably going to be in the nuts at 8,200.
I mean, this is the car that was runner-up last year.
Yeah. Hamlin, on the other hand, I don't like these 100 to 1 odds, but put some respect on Hamlin's name. Damn. Put some respect on that. 8,100, you gotta play it.
He's getting stage points this race.
Yeah, I kind of put him in the same box as Briscoe and Chastain. Like, what's Hamlin got to do today? He doesn't need points. He's probably not going to win. So I think the only thing he can go out there and do is try to win a stage. So, I mean, he'll probably run okay. I just don't see a situation where he runs well inside the top 10 because I think he's going to be running long and trying to get a playoff point. So if I'm going to do anything with Hamlin today, it's going to be to win stage 2. Bet him. You can bet like to win stages on most sports books. That's how I would play Hamlin, but I don't know. I just don't think like what's Denny Hamlin's motivation today? He's not going to win the regular season championship. He's not going to win this race probably. He doesn't need points. It's just, I think playoff point is the best case scenario for Hamlin.
You want to know where to play Hamlin today? Go to the FanDuel tab.
Is he cheaper on FanDuel?
You got to scroll down. He's $6K on FanDuel. Oh my goodness! So there you go. That's where I'm playing Hamlin.
No respect being put on that name on FanDuel. That's for sure. Whoa! Right? Horrible. All right, let's keep rolling, guys. So anytime you give me somewhat mild permission to fade a 30%, and Taco straight saying just fade that shit. Brady, it sounds like you're saying fade it too. You're telling me I can fade a 27% owned Hamlin? I'm listening. My ears are perking up. I like it.
I just think there's more motivation for him to try to win a stage than there is to try to win the race. And if you're going to win a stage at a track like this, usually it's going to come at the expense of a good finish. So.
Listen, works for me. I get permission to fade 24% owned drivers. That's the vig right there, and I want that. So let's keep it moving here. Bowman, not sexy, starting 7th. It's gross. Where's Blaney? Wait. Blaney. Yeah, Blaney first on the pole. The pole sitter, 12% owned. Ryan Blaney, can he hodl the pole? It seems like no.
Yeah, it would be very surprising, especially with SVG right beside him. He would need a really, really good launch. And even still, like maybe he does lead. 11 laps is probably optimistic. He would need a career best run at Watkins Glen or really at a road course full stop to hit the optimal, even if he does hold the lead at the start, and finishes 6th. He's still only going to get you 36 points. So it's just a tough spot for Blaney. Very competitive field. He's got to do more than he's ever done at a road course to hit value here.
Taco, I'm going to go to you in a second, but I want to see what Doris has to say about Blaney here. What do you think, Doris, about Blaney on the pole? Can we load up on him?
I'd unfriend you. That's not how it works.
All right. Well, Doris thinks no. She says, unfriend you to Blaney. She doesn't want any exposure, Taco.
I think even Blaney was surprised he got the pole. I was like, really? Oh, that's neat. Free stage points, I guess.
Doris wants nothing to do with Blaney. Fade.
I think it's 0 top 5s on road courses in the next gen car for Blaney. So yeah, I am playing that.
Now, next up, we've got Bowman starting 7th.
I'd unfriend you.
I didn't even ask you yet. Take it easy. Relax. She just wants him off her screen.
I don't think you unfriend Bowman just because he's in a Hendrick car, but his track history here is fucking dog shit.
Yeah, he's terrible at Watkins Glen. He's good at road courses, but whatever it is about Watkins Glen, he's just never been able to put it all together. So yeah, I find myself pretty underweight on Bowman.
Realistically, though, Bowman is very cheap, and if he just hangs around and finishes 5th or 4th,
give me Kyle Busch instead.
Yeah, so KB starting 5th. Similar situation, similar scenario. Not a lot of upside here outside of just he's cheap. He's starting 5th, and if he kind of finishes 3rd or 2nd, that might be enough.
Yeah, it has run pretty well on road courses, and I would argue that Watkins Glen, at least there was a time when Watkins Glen would be Kyle Busch's best road course. So he can definitely hang in the top 5.
Is there any track that we go to where we're like, Kyle Busch used to be really good here? Like that's literally every track on.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah,
he's Auto Club.
I'm still waiting for one of these where you guys are like, Busch has been terrible here his whole career. That never happens. It's always
Talladega, maybe. I don't know. That's probably the closest you're gonna get.
Yeah, it's the one track where he's just not that great. He's been great everywhere, and now he's I don't know what he is now, but it's not great anymore.
Now Ryan Preece, this Daniel's just said, who are the 2 drivers that have been in the optimal 10 of 24 races? One of my guesses for that would be Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece has run really well this year,
and then Byron probably.
Yeah, something. That's what I was thinking was Byron and Preece. But anyway, Ryan Preece, I think, is a.
Wait, I'm going to guess Chastain is one of them.
I don't think Chastain's run good enough this year to be.
He's been good, man. You'd be surprised.
I think Preece, and there might be
maybe Preece, yeah, because he's just been starting in the rear and just moving forwards, and he's been optimal the last 2 weeks. I know that.
Imagine it was Ty Dillon.
I was just thinking, Ty Dillon.
We're not there yet.
Yeah. Anyway. Preece solid, but 8 out of 24. Yeah, that's nice. Anyway, I think Preece is a fine play here. I mean, for some reason, you remember a couple years ago, Austin Dillon just all of a sudden became kind of good at road courses. That's kind of what's happening with Ryan Preece.
I do not remember that. Did not happen last year.
Yeah, well, maybe it might have been a couple years ago. I'm getting my year. Yeah. But yeah, Ryan Preece is getting really good on road courses. He ran 10th here last year. Not a fast guy, but just seems to grind out decent finishes. So a guy I think you can find some room for.
I don't know. Starting 17th,
just getting good, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter these terrible practice times. You see those constantly. His teammates fast, so we're chilling.
Killing Preece. Yeah, both you guys don't hate him. Starting 17th, so you figure he would need to make a run up, I guess, to again top 5. It's the same spot. He needs to be 10. Top 5 or 6 to be relevant here.
Yeah, I think the thing that is the upside here, I mean, to run 12th at Sonoma, if you can run 12th at Sonoma, you can run top 10 at Watkins Glen. So I think there's some upside there. You were right, Chastain and then Elliott, of course.
Oh, wow.
Chastain's a big surprise to me.
Chastain, what you didn't notice, Brady, because you're very focused on wins and who's a contender. Chastain just started 38th.
Yeah, he's been terrible.
Chastain can't qualify. Elliott can't finish bad, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's Chastain. It's more been qualifying. It seems like whenever he's starting 30 plus, he just dominates, or he delivers when at times, and he's had a lot of starting 22nd, finished 6th stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Would be the nuts. And plus, he's been cheaper this year. He's not been priced in a stud price point, so you don't quite need as much to get that nuts lineup out of him.
Are you ready for the desert range?
Yeah, it gets really tough after Preece.
It's tough sledding.
I mean, I'm looking at your sheet, and it's a sea of fades coming up for the next 10 drivers in a row.
Yeah, we can probably burn through these pretty easily. Logano probably doesn't have a lot of upside. Hocevar starts too high. I think the only one in this range, maybe 2 in this range, Cindric is kind of interesting to me, because for as bad as Cindric has been on road courses in the next gen, Watkins Glen has kind of been a bright spot for him. Consistently run around the top 15, and then his practice times were really, really solid. So again, you need a lot of work for him. A 5th, a 6th is probably what you need. But if you're getting a guy like that at sub 10%, pretty easy to get leverage on, and some upside there, I think. And then Daniel Suarez, fine spot, could run in the top 10 maybe. Watkins Glen has been okay for Daniel Suarez, but I don't know. It kind of seems like that team has abandoned ship a little bit over the course of the last couple of weeks.
They hate Suarez. We're in full Suarez fade mode here for the rest of the season. They've already moved on mentally.
Well, we got to get Zilich's collarbone fixed before we can put him in that car. But
all of a sudden, they're like, "All right, Daniel, we got a different car for you. Wait, what if they put him in the Zilich car?
Yeah, the argument would be, does Trackhouse want to try to get all three of their charters in the playoffs, which I think they do.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think they're going to just abandon Suarez completely. They might maybe give him a little something at a few of these tracks where he might have a chance. This should be one of those, but not seeing a whole lot.
I suspect he has the third best of everything this weekend, though. SVG's got the best. Chastain's got the second best. And then
what about Keselowski and Bubba? Are these guys just not good? Like Keselowski is a lot of
they hate road courses. They're both bad at road courses. Against road course, yeah.
Bubba too. Bubba's not a road course guy.
He's never been good at them. Like he was fine at just finishing in stage racing last year, but Keselowski has always been on record. Like, man, these road courses suck. We turn left, please.
Yeah, there was a time when Penske had a pretty significant advantage at Watkins Glen, and Joey and Keselowski were very competitive, but that's long since gone away. And yeah, these are just both plays that should run. Excuse me, voice crack. I've got an accent and my voice cracks. I'm in hell. These are two guys that probably should just run around where they start. You look at Bubba Wallace, very consistent, but not particularly outstanding runs. That would get you in the optimal.
This is your prey. These are not your predators. These guys are just trying to hang on and scrap out something decent, which doesn't sound very tournament winning to me. No. Now, Keselowski is fast as fuck last week. He absolutely destroyed us, and we're gonna pay close attention to that come Richmond next week. But
you know who I full unfriended last week?
Mr. Keselowski.
Keselowski. Yeah,
that's tough.
It was so brutal.
I was doing it at Richmond.
Yeah, there was not a rich man north of Richmond last week because of Keselowski. There was a poor man north of Richmond, and that guy was me. I lost my money, so I got to make it back here. All right, so unfriend those guys. Then we come to this next zone: Gilly, Nemechek, Jones, Berry, Gregson. Oh, it's Stenhouse. So much goodness here. Zane Smith. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know where to begin here, but like all of the place diff turds are sort of this next group, and every single one of them seems relevant. I'm seeing really, really low ownership projections on a lot of these guys, though. So I'm going to need some clarity on what the heck is going on here, right?
We're about to get into what I am calling the pool of players this week, like an actual like splash pad of just like everyone here is kind of like the same, that whole 6 to 5K range.
Is that why no one's getting ownership? Like, what's going on here?
Gilliland is like an oasis in a desert, right? Like he's pretty decent play, but down there, all the guys you have circled pretty much. You could even include Herbst in this.
No, we don't play Herbst.
Just kind of. Oh yeah, you play Herbst here.
Really?
He's not bad at road courses. Here in super speedway is the only place you're gonna touch him all year. But yeah, this whole range down here is kind of just like you're mix and matching who's going to survive the carnage if there is any.
Yeah. I'm going to address this because I love talking about the in the weeds stuff like this, and I will do it quick as to not bore you guys. So how does a car get the best of something? Aren't the cars supposed to be the same? That's true. Yes. All of the cars are spec. All of the parts are spec and come from a single source manufacturer. But like any single source manufacturer, they fall within tolerances. They're not all identical. That's just the consequence of manufacturing and how these things are put together. So there is, for any given piece, there's an optimal that fits, that is measured. It fits against these other pieces just perfectly flush. And maybe 20% of those parts you get from the manufacturer are perfect. So they get put in like the A bin. And then maybe this one's got a little kink in it, or it's not perfectly flush, or it's not sanded the same way. So that's a B part. And then there's some that are just like, this one's just wonky. This one's not a good part, but it's single source manufacturer. You have to use it. That's a C part. So they are, in theory, all from a single source manufacturer, and the cars are supposed to be very similar. But the case with manufacturing is you're just not going to get identical parts. And some single source manufactured parts are more in tolerance than the rest. So that's why you look at a guy like SVG, he's getting all the A parts. I mean, this part is perfectly manufactured, fits perfectly flush against the side of the car, whatever it is. That's what we mean. But yeah, Todd Gilliland should be good this weekend.
Effectively, in basic terms, even though it's called stock car racing and this idea that they're all the same, they're definitely not all the same. There's cars that are just
more similar than they used to be.
Yeah,
still not similar.
But there's always faster, there's always slower, and it's all mechanics and manufacturing, machining. These teams are making their own parts, remachining things, and cheating on occasion.
Yeah, not interesting for anybody with a pulse, but for me, very interesting. If you go back and look at, I think it was Briscoe last year, they got caught recutting some single source manufacturer part. They got in big trouble for it. They said it was an accident, but those are all things that go on, and it's part of the game. But yeah, I'll try to get us back on track. Yeah. Todd Gilliland is the one that stuck out here in this range for me. Pretty good on road courses. Consistently runs kind of in the top 25, even top 20 last year. Watkins Glen is the best of his road courses, and starting 28th, he had pretty good lap times. Doesn't need to do a whole lot. If Todd Gilliland goes out and does what he did here the last couple of years and say finishes 17th, he 5Xs. So that's the oasis in the desert part for me.
We need him to do a little bit better than that for him to be in the nuts. Just to clarify, I think we'll need, even if he's projected to finish 17th or not, we'll probably need about anywhere from 12th place or above. That is going to be pretty close to nuts lock for Gilly. So he doesn't need to go much past the mean projection here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Nemechek and Jones are both fine kind of carnage PD plays, neither of which have been particularly impressive on road courses in their career. John Hunter got a miracle 6th at Mexico and ran okay at Chicagoland, so you can make a case there, but both were painfully slow in practice, didn't qualify well.
Let me back up.
Carnage plays.
Brady, I want to back up for 1 second because I'm seeing an anomaly on screen that I want to address with Taco. Just go to Austin Cindric real quick. Taco, are you projecting that Austin Cindric is going to finish in 6th place in this?
I think
no, we messed with that.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, wait a second.
No.
Oh, you changed it. I was like, wait, what? What am I seeing here? Wait, oh my God, that's very bold. If that was a very bold prediction right there. All right, so it's not that. Okay, go back. Sorry, apology. Go back to what you're doing, Brady. Back to Gilly.
The legacy Toyotas here, the thing I can't understand is why does every book have Eric Jones at 500 and JHN at 1,000? Why is that why is John Hunter Nemechek 1,000 across the board?
Yeah,
there just doesn't seem to be that much difference. Jones is slower in practice, and let's be real here. Next gen car, Jones has fucking sucked at road courses.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad. They probably go back and look at this and don't realize
finish.
He had the best car. Like yeah. So again, just carnage plays. Josh Berry had okay practice times, but again, short track ace, not a road course guy. Did finish 13th. At Sonoma, which is a bit of an outlier. Some reason to be optimistic, but if you take, literally an outlier, if you look at any of his other finishes on road courses in his career, just not enough.
He did not run 13th, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he kind of backed his way into that at the end. Austin Dillon, like I said, for this little stretch last year and then a couple years ago at Watkins Glen, some optimism on road courses, but other than that, he starts 26th. I would be surprised to see him crack the top 20. You look at his practice times; he was way off.
We'll see him next week.
Now, here's
the stolen setup race
in better shapes than that. You can't play, Dylan 26. The problem is those guys are starting too far forward. But these next two, Gregson and Stenhouse, starting where you need them, 36th and 35th. All we need is a pulse. Can we get a pulse out of these guys, Brady and Taco?
We need a wreck. What we need is, do you see what happened in the Xfinity race yesterday? 16 car wreck in the bottleneck. If that happens, these are the plays you need.
Yeah, for sure. And even without that, I know Gregson has been pretty terrible on road courses the last couple weeks, but these are all super, super technical road courses, Sonoma, Chicago, and Mexico. Now we go to Watkins Glen where he can just hold the loud pedal down and you can see it. Coda, which is much more wide and big and fast paced. He was much more competitive. Last year, he ran 11th at Watkins Glen, albeit in SHR gear, but I think this will be a little bit of a return to form for Noah Gragson. He's run good at Watkins Glen before. He ran good at Watkins Glen in the Xfinity Series. These cars aren't worth much, it doesn't seem like, these front row cars. But if we're going to play Todd Gilliland starting 28th, why are we not going to play Noah Gragson starting 36th? Noah Gragson is one of my favorite plays on the slate, honestly.
I like his teammate also. I like all three of the front rows. We'll get to that last one in a second. And what about Ricky Stenhouse in a Hayek team vehicle? I know. Why have I not noticed that name before?
No, JTG just changed names. That's not all that important. It's the thing with Stenhouse is he was top 15 here the first 2 years in the next gen car, and then last year he raced like one lap in this race. So from what we've seen, he's actually been really good at this track. But he's another guy like JHN. Why is he 1,000 to 1? It's pretty bad. He was not that bad, like in practice or anything. The only thing is he's just wrecked out of his last several road course races.
Yeah, almost the same as Gragson. I just think Stenhouse will be a little higher owned than Gragson, so I prefer Gragson. But these are both fine plays to me, and especially if you're playing SVG. These guys help you put a lineup that's a little more palatable together.
You need this. You need this type of driver. I'm telling you, you cannot avoid this zone when you play SVG. You find yourself here a lot, and man, Gragson at 250 to 1. Again, this is just bothering me. Gragson at 250 to 1, lower owned, starting a spot behind Stenhouse, who's 1,000 to like it. Gragson should be higher owned than him, and yet Stenhouse is going to have twice the ownership. That is crazy.
People do not like rostering Gragson. People love rostering Stenhouse. I don't know why it's like that. It's just kind of been.
I'm definitely rostering Gragson just to correct this.
I'm just taking everyone in this range and just mixing and matching kind of evenly. I don't really want a favorite in this range. I don't want like one person to be 50%, the rest like 20 and 30. I want them just all be just communists across the board, just pure mix and match.
Yeah, the one I will put an asterisk beside is Justin Haley. Here's what happens if you're a casual, and I don't say casual in a derogatory. I mean, like if you're just not a NASCAR fan that watches this, you go, okay, practice times, and then you flip this page because you think you're sharp, and you go, whoa, Justin Haley's the second fastest 10 lap. He's gonna. I gotta play him. He's the sneaky play. But the fact of the matter is, they went out on track early. He was following Michael McDowell.
I think he had the same lap times as Michael McDowell. Just a little bit faster. He's behind him. I just think people are going to overplay Justin Haley based on that. And if you really dig into those practice times and the reasons, out early on a fresh track with Michael McDowell being the rabbit. I don't know if he'll be that fast, and starting 23rd, I don't know, man. It's just, even you look at Michael McDowell, qualified 6th. Justin Haley chased him and qualified 23rd. I just think you're going to get a similar performance. I don't think you're going to get an outlier performance here, even though his practice times were outlier, and people are going to play him at 20% and get a 15th place finish out of him. Not bad, but probably not enough to play at 20%. So I find myself underweight on Justin Haley.
Brady, 15th might be enough.
It could be. That's where this gets a little complicated.
Yeah, that's why the fade is a little scary. It might be enough.
But he still needs a career best at Watkins Glen to hit value here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to play him at 25% to get leverage on the field and be counting on an outlier performance? It's tough.
No, I'd probably lean the other way and just be a little under if he's going to be that high owned. But again, the margin for error for him is he just needs to like get maybe 12th, I think, about that spot at this price, because he's so cheap.
Yeah.
That could get you there. 12th place. By contrast, the next driver up, and 150 to 1 is crazy. Like those are really good odds. Those are better odds than, drivers you're paying. Like him and Keselowski are basically the same win odds, and Keselowski's almost 1,500 more.
I mean, the thing is, Haley is the only one in this range. Yeah, he started 12 spots higher than pretty much everyone else here, which does hurt him. But none of these other guys got to follow Michael McDowell in lockstep, which I think will help him ultimately. He's not a bad road course racer.
No, he won that.
Even out with that.
He won in Canada a couple years ago.
There it is. Had a second place in Chicago on the street.
He had a bunch of laps at Chicago. That was a weird rain race.
Yeah, that was a strange one.
Zane Smith, one of my favorites here, starting 34th. Zane Smith, one of my favorites primarily because Zane Smith's just been good everywhere. He's been good. He's been shockingly good this year.
Yeah, Zane Smith is a great driver, man, and he's held back by his equipment right now a little bit. But if you go back to when he was running front row gear in the Truck Series, he was, as I would say, more impressive than Lane Riggs is right now in the same gear. And Zane Smith was ultra competitive on road courses. And we saw that at Watkins Glen last year when he finished 5th, albeit some context behind that as well. But I don't know, man. Like, why is Justin Haley such a better play than Zane Smith? I don't know. Look at last year. Consistently top 20 on road courses. Has had some struggles, but like I said, these are very technical road courses that you can forgive a young driver for not being that good at. Watkins Glen is not a super technical road course. So Zane Smith can make a lot of hay here. Plus, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he stinks. Maybe he runs 30th, but we get carnage at the end and he goes 15th. So yeah, I'm with you, Geek. I like Zane Smith a lot here.
Yeah, and at this price, by the way, he does 15th is hopeful. Even if he gets to 18th, like he just has to kind of be hanging around and in the group, and he will be in the winning lineup, especially if it's an SVG race. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I like Zane Smith here. The 500-1, that's better than, like, if you go below Zane, even Ty Dillon, our next man up, man, it's 1,500. Like, they're giving him zero chance of doing any kind of damage here. And the whole rest of the player pool gets really gross from there. Although I do still think they're relevant to discuss. But Zane Smith to me is the final sort of like guy I'm kind of excited to click the button on. I wouldn't even mind clicking Zane's name on like an $88, like in the June bug, like where I'm paying up for a lineup.
Oh yeah,
I'll play some Zane. I'll play some Zane.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You want to know one more note about Justin Haley? The car he's in, Corey LaJoie. Do you remember he legitimately ran top 5 in lead laps at this track? Just being on the right strategy is the exact same strategy that Zane Smith was on to also run top 5.
Zane Smith or Haley?
Well, last year's race, it was LaJoie in the 7 car. He had a legit amazing race.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, there was some pace in that car for sure, and then it finished 8th. So yeah, maybe I'm being pessimistic about Justin Haley, but I think he'll go over-owned. But we'll see.
Well, I like it. Yeah, it's just part of the reason for the whole Haley hype here. But Zane is like a nice floor play. I mean, he's a nice upside play. In fact, he can do that. He's been on the right side of strategy calls more often than not this season and last season.
Is Zane the cheapest viable, or do we get some viability out of this next group?
I would play Cole Custer a little bit. Cole Custer was good in practice. And listen, we all love to shit on Cole Custer, but let's not forget we were locking him every Xfinity slate last year, including on road courses. Cole Custer is a very, very capable driver and even finished top 10 in Mexico and then has had some good runs at Watkins Glen in the Cup Series. This equipment just isn't worth much right now. So that's what's holding him back. But practice times for Custer were fairly competitive compared to the guys in the same range as Keselowski, even Gibbs, obviously some context there. But I think Cole Custer is viable. And if you want to get even really, really silly, Riley Herbst has low-key been one of the better 2311 guys on road courses because Bubba and Reddick have not been able to be super competitive. And 17th at Chicago, 17th at Coda. If Herbst finds a 17th again this weekend, that's 38 points for what? For 5,200?
It could work in an SVG lineup.
He ran the Xfinity race. He's got extra reps this week.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to play Billicky or Cody Ware.
Brady was about to go on a tangent about how Leg has top 20 upside.
Yeah, I want to talk about Leg, and I want to talk about Leg. Is she somebody we should, super punt with maybe, and super punt and pray?
Catherine Leg's a gasser, man. She's really good, and she got a lot of hate when she first started because she made some mistakes. But you go back the last couple weeks, not even just on the road courses, but she was really good at Indy, and she was, at least competitive. She ran top 20 at Chicago, man. If you can run top 20 at Chicago, why can't you finish top 20 at Watkins Glen? Albeit, I think the big difference here is
all the turds ran top 20 in Chicago, though. If you'll note, something happened in Chicago because all the turd drivers. Riley Herbst was there. Billicky 21st, Ty Dillon 20th. Zane. I mean, what happened in Chicago?
The problem. I mean, there was a big pileup wreck in that race, which caused all the carnage. But problem
what do we get here? We get big pileup wrecks every now and again.
That's true.
Years.
The issue here that concerns me, I think Catherine Legge is viable, but car really does matter. This is a high speed. When you step on the throttle, the response that Catherine Legge is going to get is significantly different than Josh Berry's going to get, or even that, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to get. There's just not as much get up and go in those cars. It's really hard on brakes. It's really hard on shocks. So there is more of a gear concern with Catherine Legge. But if we're talking just about pure upside, she's proven she can run in the top 25 pretty consistently. I just think the car is going to be the biggest concern.
Gotta love drivers where every lap in practice time, they're literal 2.5 to 3.5 seconds slower than the next than the average of the group or the fastest. Like, that is just falling behind at a rate that is almost insurmountable without massive carnage. So I don't have a lot of hope for her or Yelly.
And that's got nothing to do with JJ Yeley is a fantastic. It's just the response they get when they touch the inputs is so much significantly worse than some of these other low volume guys.
Can I share something here, just not related to this race, but based on what you're saying? How I feel like new cars. Like I have two cars. Like, one of the cars that I have, when I smash the gas pedal down, and there's like a palpable 1 second delay until the car wakes up and realizes that you did that. And I feel like it's some newfangled transmissions that these cars have or something. But I'm not impressed by the most modern cars. I feel like there's weird delays from when you hit the gas.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was, long story short, but I was driving I know exactly what you're talking about. And I feel like you almost get accustomed to rolling onto the throttle because it's not going to respond. I was driving a Camaro, a 1970 Camaro the other day, and I chirped the tires just because naturally my instinct was well, I can jam this because that's what you do. Yeah. And you do that in a Camaro, you're going to go right through the fucking trees. So
yeah. It's something about modern vehicles that where it's almost like electronic. I hit the gas, but I think it's just
literally is
like a microchip. Back when it was the Camaro, you hit the gas, you open the valve and just gasoline is just flying in. But I think these modern cars have electronic delivery of the gas. It's the pedals just kind of instructing them somewhat what to do, because I hate it on this car I've got. I got an Infiniti, and I hit the gas and it just doesn't go right away. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. It's annoying. I feel like Catherine Legge out there. She's doing the same thing. She's I'm hitting the gas, but it's not going. I call her Legge. It's leg. It's pronounced leg.
Yeah, it's Catherine Legge. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I've been saying it wrong in my head for the better part of the year.
But man, listen, you put Catherine Legge and give her Josh Berry's car. Fuck, that's top 20 all day. It's just that Live Fast car isn't worth much.
Is she? Maybe that'll happen for her. But listen, we need it'd be good for. If there was ever a sport where a woman should be able to compete directly and equally with men, it's NASCAR.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. And then JJ Yeley, I don't know. I mean, pure carnage play, I guess. He was nearly 4 seconds off.
Listen, the reality is that when you think about playing JJ Yeley or Catherine Legge, I want you to think.
Can't go a lap down.
They're not going to be a lap down, but they're going to stink. So just do this.
I unfriend you.
You'll be happy. Don't play those turds. It's not going to work out. If they're doing well, other drivers are going to be doing even better that are also cheap. So
Yeah, I like how you can still bet on Zilich on most sites still.
Yeah, some of them didn't update Zilich at all. And like I said, the ones that didn't adjust like top 5 or top 10 odds. So you can still get some really decent. Do I have DraftKings open here? Yeah, you can still get some really good top 5, top 10 odds on some of these guys.
Reddick.
Yeah.
10-1. If it's still like plus 1,000 for Reddick top 5, like I don't know why you wouldn't.
Plus 185, top 10. Where's Reddick? Top 600. Plus 600. Yeah, they're fixing it, but
it was awful this morning.
Shane Van Gisbergen has even gotten shorter since we started this.
Guys, minus 175, minus 175 to win.
That's Kyle Busch Truck Series number.
They are tired. They're like, stop betting this motherfucker.
Yeah, they're basically anything to get you off of this pick is what DraftKings is doing right now. So I don't know, man. Like, is it a trap? Is Admiral Akbar here? I don't know, man. Long shots, Julie?
Everybody's a long shot.
I mean, every single driver that's not SVG. I would say
what? Byron count at this point? I mean, Byron's really coming as the second favorite. And with that hit McDowell took, I mean, he seems to me clearly the second play here. Because Blaney, whatever, that's just pull odds. You can ignore that. Larson starting in the rear. I mean,
what's Daniels trying to tell us here? Be less cryptic.
Yeah, guys. So Oscar,
F1, we're too American to understand.
Piastri and Lando Norris have dominated F1 this year. So the DFS slates have been very tough because it's obvious Piastri or Norris are going to win the race, and it's just a matter of how much they're going to dominate. So that's the comparison. I would say this. My instinct was, since practice yesterday, my instinct told me that Shane, like, we're going to get a weird winner to this race. That's just been what my instinct has been telling me all weekend. I don't know who that weird winner is going to be, but, Byron seems to be the fastest. If he gets the lead, very hard to get it away from him. But, man, I think you can take a shot because I just get the feeling that this race is going to get stupid at the end. They're going to wreck into turn 1. They've got that new restart zone. So they're on restarts. They're going full speed all the way down into the turn 1. That's a hard braking zone. You can do some really crazy dive bombs there. I don't mind taking a shot here because, like I said, you're not going to play SVG at minus 175. If you're going to do that, you might as well just go watch tennis all day or something and bet one of those. You'll have more fun. Take a shot here. Like, I don't know. I wish William Byron was a little longer because that's legitimately who I think is probably the rightful winner. But Tyler Reddick at plus 5,000, why not?
See, what Daniels isn't sharing though, and Daniels, I would question this is you tied. The problem with you're like in a massive tie. You don't win as much. But
Ty Gibbs. I'll say Ty Gibbs.
There you go.
I think Ty Gibbs can win this race. But yeah, I don't know. It's just my instinct is this is going to be a weird win.
My wacky choice for race winner. If it's not SVG, we all think it's going to be SVG. My wacky choice is going to be Dinger.
That's exactly what I was going to say. No.
Yeah, I like that.
Almond winner.
Give me the plus 3,500 on Dingo. One of these days, it'll be right.
Yeah. And then the other thing, I mean, I said this about Kyle Busch on Friday, and it bit me, but how many times in your life are you going to get the chance to bet Larson at plus 1,600? Obviously, it hasn't been great as of late, but same gear as Byron, who's plus 600. Larson, obviously, every bit as talented at Watkins Glen as Byron. So,
all right, guys, we have about an hour till race time. Everybody needs to get in there and get your lineups uploaded and ready to rock. If you guys have been with us for this long, I would ask that you kindly hit a like, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the DFS Army YouTube channel. A lot of people watching this, you're still not subscribed to the channel. Content is going to be coming fast and furious. We are going into our peak season. So you need to be subscribed, like, notification, all that shit. And a reminder that Brady, was that appropriate?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
How to say it? No. And then remember that if you want to get signed up for DFS Army VIP, these research stations, what you saw, the gold, the beauty that you saw in the background just now for NASCAR exists for all sports here at DFS Army. We're not just a thing where you're going to get some core plays and good luck. No, we compile research. We compile data. There's a lot of tech that's going into what you receive as a DFS Army VIP subscriber. And this is across all sports. We have sim models going for NFL and NBA. It is a plethora of sightly contaminants all over the place. That's right. That's right. If you're from the 90s, you'd know about a plethora of unsightly contaminants. There's like 3 of you watching that knows what that is. So with that being said, promo code NFL2025, NFL 2025, that gets you half off VIP. It's up on the screen. Not the 10% off that you see. That's right. No, you get half off NFL 2025 VIP monthly. It cuts the price in half down to like $45. Or if you're just an NFL only person, you see on screen there, if you're NFL or my new favorite, football, all football, which includes college football, that's promo code VIP25 gets you a discount there as well. So Jeremy Collier, he knows about a plethora of unsightly contaminants. It's not everybody who's going to know what that is, but Jeremy Collier knows it. So get signed up, promo code NFL 2025, do the VIP monthly, rock with us this football season. You'll get NFL, you'll get college football too. Oh, that's what's up. Gators, go Gators. Signs up in the background. You see it right there. Let's go. NFL 2025. Guys, that's going to do it. We've got about an hour or so, an hour and 10 minutes till lock. I've got to get my wings over here. I've got to get my Blue Moons cracked open. I
got a pick in the staff league. I'm up.
You're up on the clock.
I'm on the clock.
We have like 7 leagues going right now that are staff leagues. I'm in all of them. So see, you know what's going to happen, Tattoo? I look older than you. I'm going to shave. Okay. You get a clean shaven Kevin. You can be like, oh, he's 30. He's 35.
Another nice feature here as well as we're plugging the product. You get signed up for NASCAR or any of them. You get access to the Discord, which is very valuable. And you also, after this race goes terrible and SVG leads every lap and is in every winning lineup, me and Taco are right there. You can talk shit directly to us in the Discord. You can tell us how much we suck.
Yeah.
That's great.
Tell me to fade the chalk. You suck at DFS. You know what? That's right. You can actually, we actually appreciate if you do not tilt in the Discord. No one likes a negative Nelly. No one likes a Debbie Downer in the Discord. No one likes that. All right, guys.
Shouldn't have put those back.
You're regretting it. I've got a few new ideas, though. We'll talk off there. All right, guys, that'll do it for this breakdown. Hour and 32 minutes of NASCAR goodness. We got about an hour to make lineups, so plenty of time. I've got a ton reserved, and let's rock. Jerry, will there be a live next week Saturday night race?
I'll do one for every race next week. I promise you that.
You're getting
Truck race, Xfinity, and Cup race, all 3 next week.
It's a good-ass weekend coming up.
Brady has stepped up on the content side for NASCAR. I will be gonzo for about 7 months, but I will see the whole NASCAR crew in like February or March.
Oh, there's no Xfinity race next week. We'll do one for Truck and Cup. Promise.
Or we'll lock it down.
I think this would be my last NASCAR of the season. Well, maybe next week. One more.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
One on but there's a big UFC too.
Well, UFC is not going to keep me from NASCAR, but like when NFL really hits, I got to put full concentration in that. I don't do anything else. But we still have a couple weeks to go. So let's take this one down, guys. Let's take this road course down. One more win for the people. Good luck today, everybody. We will see you guys at the top of the leaderboards. Helmets up. Let's rock. Deuces, everyone.